In today's video, I am going to be fixing more of my crochet projects. Every few months, I'm like, you know what? I don't wear this, I should fix it. I have 3 projects that I really want to work on. First off, this, okay? This is a really cute fanny pack that I made at the beginning of the summer, but I have not used it. And if you're wondering why I've not used it, there's no lining and I never put a zipper in. Do I have lining? I don't know. I thought I had some, but it's a really light brown. And so I think that's why I never did it, because I don't know if I want to put light brown in here. I think I might want to just get a black fabric, which I might have because I did organize all my fabrics. I want to put a lining in here and I want to put a zipper. Also, since I have made this, I have redone my kitchen area in the camper, AKA my sewing room. So I have all my sewing machines up. I have it all organized. I don't have to move a bunch of stuff off the seats because that's where I would store stuff. Everything has a place now. Sometimes I want to work on something, but I'm like, oh, well then I gotta do this, 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 and this just to do this one thing. And then I've already given up. The next one I want to do is this bag. I think I've used it once, but because I crocheted the handle, anytime I put something in this bag, it just sinks down. Literally, like right after I had made this, I went to Fabricland and I found this beautiful fabric. And I bought this fabric for the purposes of lining this bag with it because I think it's really cute. Now, would I have liked to maybe have found one that had a green background? Yes. And I think they might have had one, but the flowers were more blue and I'd rather the flowers be the colors that I used for my flowers. So I want to put a lining in here. And I think what really kept me from doing this is this part here. I wasn't too sure how I was going to do it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a strip of this and then sew it in here and then make a square shape and sew it like a square of this and put it in here and then sew it all together. I think that will work out really well. And I've wanted to do this for so long, I just kept forgetting about it. So this is project number 2. Now the third project has been on my to-do list ever since I finished making it. And I believe I made this in 2023. And that is this. It is my spooky Halloween house. What I want to change is the collar part. At the time, I was like obsessed with these types of collars. Nowadays, no. Even after making it, I didn't like it. It's too tight. I can't fit my head in. Now, I have done in previous videos of me fixing projects, a lot of them are me fixing the collar. And this one here is no exception. I'm going to be doing the same thing. So I'll be taking the collar off. I will be taking the top part here off and a little bit on the front of the sleeve. Then I'm going to be taking all of this off, like all the front part off, and then I will be using the same yarn as long as it's in good condition and I don't accidentally have to cut a bunch of stuff. And then I'll be making like a panel, and then in the middle is going to be a nice square neckline. And then I'm going to make a black collar because the cuffs are black and the bottom of the project is also black ribbing. So I just want to make the collar black as well. But yeah, this one here I have wanted to do for so long. This was like one of my favorite projects and I don't think I've ever worn it out of the house because the collar, I can't. I put it on and it's just so tight around my neck and I'm like, I cannot leave the house with this. I feel really bad because this is like one of my favorite projects that I've ever done, like the tapestry of it, and I've never worn it because I don't like how it feels. We're gonna change that this week. And I'm gonna wear it for this season because spooky season is almost here and I wanna wear this year and it's gonna happen. These are the 3 projects that I wanna fix and hopefully they go okay. If you are new to my channel and you like crocheting and yarn and thrifting and like me also fixing crochet projects, because I do that a lot now, why not hit the subscribe button? So I figured I might as well do a little try on just to show you why I don't like it. All right, it has been a minute since I wore one of my sweaters. Wish it was a little bit more flowier, so maybe I'll take the steamer to it. The main part why I don't wear it is it's so tight right here that like I feel like I have to go like this. Like it's too tight. And that is why I want to take this apart. I'll probably go up to, you know, that's actually a good idea. Thinking no further than this for the neckline. So I have to take all of this off. Right here is going to be a square neckline and then I'm gonna put the collar in. You see how this is? This is actually the first project that I did with this type of collar, and ever since I did it, I have not gone back. Is this like the same purple? It is. It's the exact same purple. This purple was used in this too. How it's like that kind of a square, but it makes it rounded. So it's not gonna look like it's one of those square necklines. It will round itself out a little bit. Hopefully I will get some wear out of it once I fix the issue. I hope it's the only issue and I hope there's not something else out there that I'm like, oh wait, I gotta do that. I hope not. I hope it's just the collar and I'm good to go. First things first, we have to take it all apart to redo it. I have one of these now. Found it at a thrift store. And I wish it was warm tone, but it's cool tone. What are you gonna do? It definitely helps when I'm working with darker colors. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn this inside out and I have to take the arms apart. So we have the middle, and then I have my stopping points. How many rows did I take off? I took off 5 rows. So I have to put 5 more rows. Did the front one here, and I have to do the same one on the other side, but I have to remember which way I went. The stitches have to line up, so I can't just like start here and go this way, and I can't just start here and go that way without knowing which way this row went. Otherwise, the stitches will look a little weird. I think I was going here, and then I stopped, and then I went back, which means then I have to go here, and I have to go this way. That makes sense. So I'm gonna cut this yarn and start it over here. Made the little neckline opening. So all I have to do is take the yarn that I didn't use here and just sew this up. Do the exact same thing for this side. Sorry for the bright light. Lately, I have been working with really dark colors and it's so hard to see. And like it gets dark early, like it's 8:45 and like a month ago, it was still bright out. It's just kind of hard for me to see right now. I'm gonna sew the top together first, and then I'm gonna sew the sleeves back on. Those are now sewn, and now I just have to repin the arm. I'm also going to take a few of the bottom threads off. I don't know if you really can see it because of how bright my light is, but I can't see a thing. I need better lighting in here. So then that way when I get the new piece of string, I can tie it to this, and then that way the rest of the sleeve won't come undone. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go a little bit below where I started there, tie a knot, and then with this thread also tie it. So I've decided to use this black yarn here. It's a very close color. It also feels the same. This feels very Pound of Lovey, you know? I use Pound of Love a lot, and this feels like Pound of Love, and I know I used Pound of Love for the border on this because it says it in my notes. Really like the Beetlejuice collar that I did, so let's go look up the Beetlejuice project. Sophie scarf, birthday sweater. 5 high, 3 skips, so that means I'll be doing 5 single crochets up and then doing 3 slip stitches in between each row. I like to start at the back here, so this is the front of it. It looks very blue. This would look really nice in a nice blue color, and then do the back row and then work my way around, so that way when I'm done, the ending where I have to like attach it together will be on the back of my neck and not the front. Collar is done. Honestly, it was just me single crocheting and skipping. That's all I did. But now I am going to weave in those ends that I really should have woven in 2 years ago when I first made this. All right, I am literally down to the wire of doing these projects. I had to work a lot this week and I didn't forget to do it. I was just procrastinating, mainly because 2 of the projects I have to be in the camper. But I am very thankful that I organized my fabric stash a while ago, because that means hopefully everything is organized. Like, this would be fun to put inside of it. The only problem with me doing this type of fabric is it's light on this side, and the way the bag is you could see through it. So I definitely want like a darker fabric for this. I do have this black broadcloth. I could use that. I think I might just go with the black. This is kind of all I have. I've decided just to use a black fabric. Like, it's very kind of like see-through, so if I used anything else you would kind of see it, and I feel like it would take away from what this is. I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut out the shape I always make it just a little bit bigger than I need to. Now I'm just going to cut it out. So we have that, but I'm just noticing that my thread in here is like this gold color, and I actually have this material that I have to do that is almost exactly the exact same color. The background color, this goldy color, is like almost the exact same color that I have like on my thread right now. So I think I'm gonna do this one first, just because I already have the thread and the bobbin in there. And also, like, I like getting like all the pieces cut first before I do anything. So there's that one. So now we're gonna do this bag, and I need 2 pieces. I need 1 piece, big square piece, and then I need another piece to go in here. So this part here, I am gonna have to hand sew, but for the square part, I will have to sew it up. After I was done sewing the flower fabric, I started sewing the black fabric. Should I put the zipper in first? Probably, but I forgot I had to put a zipper in. Also, I know that technically I could have put 2 fabrics together and used the black fabric as the outer fabric, but I really just didn't want to complicate this project any more than it already was. All right, so this is kind of what it looks like. Okay, I don't think I did a horrible job, because then again, this has to get sewn onto the side. Perfect. Okay, now I just have to figure how this is gonna get into that. Where did I put that? I've already lost it. Is this gonna fit in here? See, like, I didn't weave in all the ends, and I don't know if I will or not, because then this is just gonna slide on in here, and then I'm gonna somehow sew it. Let me just show you what I quickly sewed up, and then I'm gonna go in the house and finish it. Yes, I know I really should be spending more time in here, but I've kind of made a mess over there, so I have to like kind of organize that. The problem is I have to go to my storage unit, and I haven't done that yet. Okay, so what did I do? First off, this, I made the little pouch and I put the zipper in. I think the problem for me is every time I want to sew something, I'm like, oh, I gotta be perfect at it. It has to turn out great. And it's just like, wait a minute. No, it doesn't. It can be whatever I want, and it can be messy, and there can be thread everywhere. But as long as I made something, that's what's important. This is gonna go inside here. And then for this one, I have to sew this piece first. Like, you see how it's like weird like this? I have to sew it like below this line. So then that way, when I sew the bigger piece inside for the main lining, it will cover it up. So I gotta sew that down. And then I have to somehow like fold it over so it kind of like does this. I also need to find a color to do this with. I'm thinking maybe an orange, and then I can sew it where this orange is. I'm taking a little look in here. Oh, I actually have 2 oranges. I have like this peachy orange, and I have this vibrant orange, but I think the vibrant orange is really going to be good for this. So I'm going to bring this orange in as well, because I'm going to have to like fold this, and then somehow pin it and like so. Ooh, that's actually gonna look so good. I kind of regret not doing this sooner. And then of course the bigger piece, which I put in here. Okay, so it's just gonna be like plop, like put that right in, and then sew along the edges. So hopefully the sewing doesn't take too long to do, because I've been kind of pushing this and pushing this and pushing this, and now I'm finally like doing it. I hope I don't run out of time. I got the strap in. I probably could have sewn it a little bit better. It's a little wonky. It's okay. It's good enough for me. It's gonna be on the inside, so it doesn't really matter if it's perfect. Got that done, which is great, because then now this is not gonna stretch anymore. Now I'm going to put the lining in, so I just have to flip it. Yeah, put the lining in. I didn't sew this down because I don't think I really need to, because the lining is gonna go right on top of that. So I'm gonna go pin that and then sew it. So let me go pin it first. It is now pinned, and now I'm just going to sew this together. I really wish I probably would have done a better job like right here and like a little bit there, but you know what? It's fine. I haven't used this bag since I made it. Actually, I used it one time. It lost its shape immediately because the handle stretched out, the whole thing stretched out, so it was really like not usable. This needed to be done, and I will use this bag now that I am fixing it. And, well, not really fixing it. I'm actually finishing it. I'm finally finishing this bag. I just finished the bag, and now I'm gonna go work on the other thing. I'm gonna work on this one. I decided to do the bag first because I thought that would be the more difficult one. So this one better be easy. Also, there's already cat hair on it. But yeah, I'm going to first pin it and then we'll sew it. So let me pin this. And it's pinned. Now I just have to sew everything up. I really wanted to play Hello Kitty Island Adventure, but at the moment, there's an update and I have to wait. So then that's why I pinned this instead. I'm just going to sew this, and I think I'm going to use the brown thread for this. I think that will look good. So then that way, if it pokes out, you know, you're not really gonna see it. What I realized is the zipper is not long enough. So I have a space here and I have a space over here. So I think I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna close this up and just give it a nice little stitch with this thread. I know I could technically use maybe the same yarn that's in the camper. It's 8:30 at night. It's dark out. I don't want to get it. But I think that this will be a little bit better and it will make it a little bit more seamless and invisible. Bag is now completely done. I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. It didn't take me anywhere near as long as I thought it was going to take me. I finished the projects. I don't know why it took me so long to do these because it didn't take me any time at all to do them. Sometimes I feel like I just get into my head and I'm just like, no, this is a sewing project. Sewing projects are gonna take forever. You don't wanna do that. Just put it aside and we'll deal with it later. When in reality, I think I was on the sewing machine for less than 30 minutes yesterday. There was a lot more hand sewing, which I do enjoy hand sewing because I can do it in the house and I can like watch TV and I don't have to hear the loud sound of the sewing machine. And I think I forget that I can hand sew. I'm just like, well, if I'm sewing something, I gotta use the machine. Let's go over the things that I finally fixed. First off, this cute little fanny pack. I made this in the summertime right at the beginning and I was like so excited to use it. The first day of fall is in 3 days. The zipper is almost like invisible, which is kind of neat. I really wasn't too sure how this was gonna look. There's a bunch of cat hair on it. Please ignore that because cats. But what I ended up doing was since the zipper wasn't long enough, I just pulled these two pieces together and just sewed them with that dark brown thread and it looks so seamless and so good. So when you unzip it, look at this. This is all I had to do and I thought it was gonna be a lot harder than it was. And it really wasn't. A lot of times in the past when I was doing sewing projects, I was like doing dresses and things that were like, took a really long time. And I forgot that sometimes sewing projects can just be simple. So like this is what the lining looks like. Would I have liked to done a chocolate brown? Yes. I also really didn't want to spend any more money on these projects than I already had, right? And I know I did have a chocolate brown fabric, but it was more lighter and I feel like it just looks good with the black fabric. Where I think that if anything was a little bit lighter, I think it would have thrown off the colors of the yarn a little bit. That's why I didn't use some of the other fabrics that I would have loved to use on the inside of this. You see how like there's more definition in these white squares. I think if I would have used something that had like a white backing to it, you would have lost that definition. I hope that makes sense, but that's what makes sense in my mind. All right, so this is the shortest I can go for the bag. This is what it looks like. It can go a lot longer if I wanted to make it more like a purse. I could wear it like this. Usually I use one of my tote bags that I've crocheted as like my big purse, and then I'll take like a fanny pack like this or a smaller purse and put it inside. So that way like my sunglasses don't get scratched up, my phone can go somewhere, my keys can go somewhere. So it's not all over the place. There's like something in it to keep everything like in order. And that's why I like this too, because then I can put like my lip gloss, my keys, stuff like that in here and then put it in the bigger bag. And then that way if I need something, I can just look through this instead of rummaging throughout the whole bag. But also like say I'm somewhere and I don't want to carry the tote around anymore, I can just take the smaller bag out or like the fanny pack out and wear that. It's so cute. I really wish I would have got this done before the summer ended. I feel like with fanny packs in the fall time and winter time when you're wearing the big coat, it's just kind of awkward to wear. I feel like it's more of like a summery kind of thing. So we'll see if I use this fall. I'm really glad I finally finished it and I think it looks so cute. Next up, this bag here. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. it took me this long to fix this. This is how I wanted it to be. I can put things in it and I know it's not gonna stretch out. This is the bag up close. I feel like I probably could have done a better job lining this up because it is a little ruching, or not, what is that? What is the word I'm trying to think of? Puckering maybe. But you know what? There's a lining in it and that is fine with me because it took me this long to do it. And then I also feel like I probably could have done a better job lining it up here, but realistically, I just needed something so then that way there wouldn't be any more stretch to this, because again, when I first used it, the stretch of it like doubled in size of the stretchiness. Like it was just so awkward, and I think I used it one time and I'm like, I can't do it again without a lining in it. That's why I line all of my crochet projects. And like my stitches aren't the neatest. They're stitched on and it's fine, okay? And again, because this is for me, if it breaks or it needs repairing or whatever, I can just do it and I won't hopefully leave it for 2 years. I have actually used the sewing machine to sew the lining in, but because this one was so awkward around like this part here, I just opted to sew the lining itself and then hand sew it into the bag, because normally when I do a crochet bag, it's just a big old square and that's really easy to go through the sewing machine. But because this one had a crocheted handle, and normally I don't crochet my handles, I just buy handles. Like this handle, I'll just buy those and you know, do that. But because it's a crochet strap, I had to like kind of finesse it and like kind of work with it and manipulate it while I was sewing it so that way it would all fit. But I really like how it turned out, and I think the fabric on the inside is such a good choice, and the colors reminded me of the colors of this. It kind of matches, and I like the handle. I don't think I really could flip it inside out. I mean, you can see what that looks like. This is kind of cute. If I would have like maybe made this part a little bit better, I don't think I'm gonna go back and redo it, but like this is what it would look like flipped inside out, which is also a very cute bag. This is so cute, and I do actually have leftover fabric from this, so I can also just make myself a simple tote bag with this fabric too, so that would be cute. I do have a pattern for this on my Patreon. If anyone is interested in making one of these, I do have the pattern for it, and it's so cute. I feel like 2 of the projects are more summery spring projects. Maybe I'll get a little bit of use out of this fall. I mean, there's some fall colors, the oranges and the yellows. Maybe I'll switch up to this bag for a little bit. Oh, I know, I wish I wouldn't wait this long to do things, but I do want to say that sometimes in the moment of me making something, I get to the point where I'm like, I can't look at it anymore. I need to move on. And that usually happens right at that point where I'm almost done and I just need to do like one more thing, like put the lining in. I'm very excited to actually start using this bag. On to the last thing that I fixed this week, which is this sweater. I know it doesn't look very different than the first time, but the collar will fit me a lot better. I also did give it a quick little steam to hopefully loosen up the fibers, so we're just gonna have to see how that fits. So I'm going to go try this on now. Look at this. I can actually put this over my head without having to like physically pull it down, because it was super tight around the neck the way that I did the collar. It was also super uncomfortable around the collar. And now look at it, so cute. Look at how cute this sweater is. It was literally the neckline. The neckline, I just couldn't. It was so uncomfortable. It was too tight. And I didn't leave any of the ends in because I just wasn't comfortable wearing it. And I'm like, I don't want to put that effort in if I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to wear it. But now I finished it. I weaved in the ends here. I weaved in the ends at the bottom. I feel like giving it that steam did make it a little bit more flowy, which is what I was looking for. Oh my goodness, this is so cute. I remember when I made this and I'm like, this is gonna be the cutest sweater ever. And then I proceeded to like never wear it because it was never comfortable. But now, look how comfortable it is. And it was just because the neckline didn't fit me like I wanted it to. So if anyone was wondering, well, you made a big square, isn't the neckline just gonna be a big square too? No, see how nice and rounded that is? Even like here, like yes, it is a little bit boxy here and a little here, but it also kind of has a little bit of a curve there. It's stretchy because it's ribbing, so ribbing does have a little bit of stretch, just like the cuffs do, and just like the bottom does. There's a lot of like stretch in here, but it also kind of goes back to its shape, so when I put it over my head, it can stretch over my head, but then not stay stretched out when I'm wearing it. But yeah, like this, nice and rounded. It looks good, it feels good, and I am comfortable in this now. And now I want to wear this. okay? I want to wear this now because now it is comfortable. Also, I do have a pattern for this one too on my Patreon. In the comments below, let me know if y'all have any projects that you need to finish, but for some reason you're just not doing it, because that happens to me all the time. For this, all I had to do was change the collar, and it took me 2 years to finally just be like, you know what? I should just do it. So sometimes it is worth taking the time to fix something that you're just not happy with. If you're not gonna wear it, why not try and just fix it? And if it turns out awful, you weren't wearing it to begin with. So, you know, you don't really lose there. But if you fix it and you like it, then it's a win. And I'm so glad that I fixed these projects. I think that does it for this video, so y'all have a good day now.